So here's my guppy tank, or now he's the boss of the world, my pea puffer tank. He's grown beautifully. He's quite a little sir, or madam, I don't know what sex he is, but I'm taking it it's a male. Still a little bit too tiny to tell. So, I was just wondering if we've become way too tech with fish keeping, not only in the equipment, but I mean where we get our information. When I started, when I was quite young, keeping fish, I had no information about where to keep fish. It was just a case of watching them and seeing how they react to things. Water changes, equipment you put in the tank, other fish that you added to the tank, and you just watch them. And you always had a backup. You always had a spare tank that you could move a problem fish to, or put a new fish in that perhaps wasn't getting along so well in the tank it was in. And when I watch some videos now, everybody seems to be talking about very high-tech equipment, not the old things like we had, like under gravel filters and the good old box filter there. It's all about canister filters and everything like that, and I love my canister filters, I must admit. For the bigger tanks I love them, but also about information about how we keep fish, what fish we keep together. And sometimes I hear such a lot of rubbish of people who have maybe only been keeping fish a couple of years, and we used to call them book readers, the odd few books you can get for the library from about fish when I was a kid. You'd read those time and time again, and you suddenly became an expert in fish keeping, even though you'd never had a fish in your life, or you've never had that piece of equipment in your life, or whatever. Now, I do put a lot of fish together that really all these knowledgeable people on YouTube tell you can't keep together, and I don't really have a problem. If I do have a problem, I've always got a backup. I always watch my fish, see what they're doing, how they're reacting, and but I really think that the most important thing and the most important teacher you have in fish keeping is your fish. If you keep enough fish that you can know how your tank reacts. Everybody says to me, how do you know about this fish? How do you know what that fish is doing, or how he's reacting? Well, I watch them. I have fish to watch. I spend a lot of time watching my fish. I know when I first put my pea puffer in here, now that was an experiment. He was a small pea puffer, very, very tiny. I had two problems that I was going to face. One, that he was too tiny for the tank, and the female guppies could have even gobbled him up. But we passed that. He's gone past being edible. And the other was feeding him, because of course guppies are notorious pigs and they eat everything that goes in this tank. But he seems to be doing quite well on snails. Now I do have, he's actually there chasing a baby guppy right now. He actually hides in that little plant pot. He dives at things. It's quite funny. He's not yet caught a baby guppy, because I've still got the three in here that I had. The big fish eat the guppies more than anything else. But it's quite funny. He hides right down in that pot behind that stone, and then he attacks and misses. So he goes off to find a snail. But I was often told, it's so difficult to keep this fish, and you have to be careful you keep it with, and he's fitted in really well. Here he comes again. I think he's at the front now. He's just come to see what else he can find to chase, probably. This is his favourite part of the tank. He does love the lava rocks. I think things get caught in there that he can eat. So I think you have to have more than one opinion when you're going to look at things, and when you're telling people this is the best way, don't kind of say this is the best way. It's not always the best way for everybody. So this is the way I do it. It's a good way, but there are other ways, and everybody has something to offer. You know, but I do believe 100% that your fish really can tell you a lot about your tank. I had a problem in my big tank. My snails were telling me it was a bit warm, and I did not react quick enough. I did lose a cory because of it. So I've managed to turn that tank temperature down a little bit, and now everybody seems to be quite happy. So your fish, you really have to watch them. You really have to listen to what they're telling you when there's a problem in the tank, and you must react straight away, because they are alive. And although you're kind of always experimenting when you buy a fish, you know, it's something, they've only got one chance of living, so you have to give them the best chance possible. And I'm so glad I got my little pea puffer. I'm glad I put him in here and not on his own in a 10-gallon tank without things to do, or things to be annoyed with, or things to chase, or things to catch. He's very, very happy. Will that change? I don't know. I've only had him a while, so probably I might have to change my view, but he'll tell me, or the other fish will tell me when it's about time to move him, or if he's always going to be happy in here.